There are certain questions I just don't even bother with. One of those questions is like the hot dog sandwich thing. I was like, I ain't touching this. Like, nah, I do not engage. That and the whole worm one's like, no, I do not engage. These are
Would
stupid bullshit questions
would you still
just to
love me if I
create
was
weird reactions. These questions only exist to cause weird reactions, and so that
alive?
people are weird about it, and I hate it. Like, I will never.
I can hold a hot dog with a bun and fix things in one hand, and that's all I have to say about
Right. Well, moving on from Jonno's one-handed skills.
it. Wouldn't that be weird if that were just the start of the episode?
I'm not gonna lie, man. I was thinking about it. I was really thinking about it. In fact, hello there, everyone, and welcome to Super Cast Brothers, the podcast that sometimes starts before I know it does. And this is going to be one of those days, apparently. Hi, I've been awake for 45 minutes, so that might explain my tolerance level right now. But we've got me, Zantok, who's on this lister, as always. I've never missed an episode. Oh, no, that's right. I did miss one episode. Damn, I missed that one. Jonno, otherwise known as John, please just stop trying to gaslight me into thinking that Waluigi was on the show, because that's literally impossible. He's a video game character. Unless you mean like the time we made a Smashtopia moveset for, in which case, yes, that did happen.
Oh no, he was here. We talked for like 2 hours.
No, I'm not dealing with your gaslighting ass. Twilix, our guest.
Hello.
He's currently 3 floors above me because he's in my house. Because he
And
lives
I'm
here.
faceless because I don't have a camera.
'Cause he's my brother. And
He's
yeah.
Fuck.
Unfortunately for him.
Twilix, remind me what your avatar is, because I can't remember. I know it's supposed to be like a fan-made evolution, but it's like Celestion or some shit.
Yeah.
Okay, it's very furry.
I saw the art like years ago, and I just like I just used it for profile pictures wherever I had the option
Oh yeah,
because I just liked it that much. And now
Yeah.
I just don't feel like changing it.
that's fair. That's fair.
What is the typing of Celestion?
I don't know.
Well,
Yes,
I know
everything.
that if it was designed in modern Pokemon, it would probably be the stellar typing, which what Terrapagos's terraform is. But
I didn't know
Stellar-
stereotype is a thing. I am way behind on Pokemon stuff.
it's a special type that you can only get with special terrestrialization. It means you're every type.
I
Oh.
see.
Yeah.
Holy smoke.
And I can't remember how it's set up, like defensively in Pokemon. I can't remember for sure, but I know it's not the hey. What if you had every type? What would your weaknesses be? And your only weakness be rock in the mathematical sense. But I don't. It's not like that in Gen 9. I think it might just be you have no weaknesses and you get stabbed on everything. Maybe I don't remember. I'd have to look it up.
Okay.
Not right now.
Soon enough. I cannot wait to
Today I learned.
play Legends.
It's only 11 a.m.
Rewind to all this again. Come
What?
back into it.
What are you talking about? Legends
Oh.
ZA?
Learn some new things.
I mean,
Well,
Legends
actually,
ZA is
I think-
unlikely to have Stellar. That's probably going to be a terrestrialized only mechanic,
Yeah.
which is going to be get Gen 9 only. Hey, Twilix, I can give you my copy of Wait, did I get the digital version or the physical version of Scarlet? I don't know if I can let you borrow it. Well, actually,
Actually,
there
no,
is a
there's
digital
something to know.
borrowing system now, actually, so I could. I forgot about that being a thing. Any hoodle. We are here for a Smashtopia episode. It's Twilix's third. We've had him do a creature of light, a creature that's a dick, and now a creature of darkness. Technically, at least it's in their name. They're not like dark elemental. It's more plasma.
Yeah, weirdly
evil
enough,
plasma?
Dark Element is that's actually weak too.
Yeah. What the fuck is Phazon? Really?
It's
I'm
a
just calling it-
radioactive material. It
Oh,
has very high mutagenic properties.
so it's nuclear Samus.
Kinda, yeah.
In a way.
Well, if I know my persona, that means Dark Samus is weak to psychic abilities.
Possibly. Hey, maybe We can find out in Prime 4 if she returns. She probably won't.
I doubt it. I think Dark Samus shouldn't return in Prime 4.
I actually agree.
Now, a few more games down the line, if they want to introduce like Dark Echoes as an enemy or some shit, like maybe there's trauma or something, I don't fucking know. Who knows? Sure, but like okay, I think Dark Samus as the whole Metroid Prime entity has run its course.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Silux's turn to shine, allegedly.
I mean, he's featured prominently in the trailer.
Yeah.
Finally, assuage listeners' fears of
That doesn't
of
mean
his
anything, though.
importance.
All right.
We'll see.
Well, before we can get discussing Dark Samus, we're gonna do showcases for the episode, which Twilix may or may not recognize what these are, but I'm sure he'll get a hoot at least a couple of them. Jonno, I'd like for you to go ahead and go first this time around. So, what's your first showcase today?
Okay, I wish I had a fruit on me that I could hold in front of you, but unfortunately, I don't. So I could just say it's a banana. It's the prank banana.
So you don't have a banana for scale?
Hey,
Here's my mic.
Oh,
that's not a banana.
No, today it is. Anyway, yeah, the prank banana from the last story. Very serious item sold at the archery shop in Lazarus City. Zale can equip them to his crossbow and kind of just shoot them at everything. So I took great joy in this fabulous game of equipping prank bananas to a crossbow too often and shooting them at NPCs everywhere. And then you see them slip and fall. It adds nothing. It's really not functional. It's just a funny thing that you spend money on if you have a mind like me. And yeah, so works similarly in Smash. So the prank banana comes equipped inside of a standard wooden crossbow that looks awfully like a smaller version of Zale's. Once the fighter grabs onto it, they'll be able to press the standard button to shoot the prank banana outwards. A typical shot will travel several feet before landing on the ground, and then acting exactly as a banana peel in Smash would. Shoot it directly at an opponent, though, and make them experience a slip animation, even in midair. Hold on to the button before shooting the banana out, and you can use a curved, kind of last story style as cursor to aim the banana at an angle. On the ground, you can walk back and forth as you aim. And yeah, we'd all be proud of the banana trick shots that we can come up with. That's kind of it.
Do you think this inspired Sekiro to create the banana gun item in Ultimate?
Probably not.
Oh.
Maybe. Maybe, but that was from his own beautiful mind, perhaps. I mean, he turned the steel diver into a gun.
He did, which is weird.
Yes, it is. It's like if I turned you into a gun. Ooh.
Listen, man. It'd be like if Megatron's Transformer mode was into a gun and he just became his own weapon.
That's
true. Shit.
Oh, I don't know about this.
Yeah. See, Optimus Prime goes into a big semi-truck, right? Original Megatron just goes into gun mode. Literally a gun. His special form is a gun.
Shove that shit in Persona.
Pew pew.
Yeah.
Well,
okay, what you got?
For my first showcase, I've got an event match, which we very rarely show. I think we've done like one a season. And this one I felt was especially appropriate for today's discussion. And it's called The True Meaning of Retro. And I'm just going to read what the description says here on the Smashtopia Wiki. Whoa, hold up. These two yahoos think they're retro? Okay, sure. Maybe they've been around a while. But we're the real retro stars around here. Alright, gang, let's teach these two punks a lesson. Oh no. It looks like these old timers are taking offense to the stars of Retro Studios. It's up to Samus of Metroid Prime and Donkey Kong of Donkey Kong Country Returns to fend off this gaggle of old timers and defend themselves. The stage will start out as Chozo Temple, and stage morph into the Golden Temple after 90 seconds, and then continue to morph every 90 seconds from there. So the player has to choose to play as either Samus or Donkey Kong, and then a second player can pick up the second character as they fight off against a menagerie of characters that are considered retro in the Smash Brothers sense. So characters that like NES, SNES, and for the most part never escaped that era. So you got Balloon Fighter, the Duck Hunt Dog, Mr. Game & Watch, Dig Dug, Pac-Man, Takamaru, Goku from Yuyuki, and Mach Rider. You got to fend off all of them and defend the honorable name of Retro Studios.
Nice. I enjoy this. I enjoy this readily. It's also an encouragement to Retro to throw one of those characters at bones. Wait for Retro Dig Dug.
It's also an
Platform.
encouragement to Retro to get their shit together and make an original AP that doesn't crash and burn, because every time they try, their development cycle just ends up killing the project.
There's some interesting things in there, like the Chic game.
Yeah,
Did not
that would have been
great.
interesting. I mean, to be fair, Nintendo turned that pitch down.
Yeah. The gameplay sounded weird from what I heard, but yeah, interesting idea. Very cool. And yeah, it's neat to see event matches turn around ever so often, since they were invalidated by Spirits and Ultimate, and I'm always curious on if that will continue or not. But in the meantime, we can do both on the wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. My next and last showcase of the season. Wow. Wonder what epic thing that we have in store for this moment. Oh yeah, it's Blockhead from Okami. So.
Oh no!
So it's Twilix, of course, and you'll know what this is. Blockheads are demons in Okami that they look like plaster walls, and they are holding this like little shrine staff thing, and the whole idea is that they're blocking next steps to locations. You have to figure out their pressure point to be able to continue on. So you tackle them. They like pinpoint where you can apply some pressure with the celestial brush. You do that, and they're gone. They get destroyed. In Smash, you don't have a celestial brush. How do you translate this opponent in a way that pays homage to their canon? So yeah, the blockhead is like in Okami. Let's say it's adventure mode. They're blocking a singular path, like an entrance to a cave, and you have to figure out what their pressure point is to move on. So here's what you do: you hit them with a really strong attack, like a fully charged smash attack. That's going to their pressure point. And then there'll be a blue flash either on like the bottom, middle, or top half of your body, and you have to calculate. You have to hit that spot enough times for them to then break and be defeated. So if it's not defeated within a certain amount of time after its pressure point is revealed, the pressure point resets. So you have to repeat the process. So you have to really tend to this enemy in like a puzzle-like way and do it quick enough so it's not halting your progress. And there you go.
That reset could actually be good with some characters, because if it's a high up spot, not every character has attacks that they can easily spam to hit high up above them.
Oh, that's true. That's true.
Well, for my last showcase of the season, Twilix, I have a question for you.
I have an answer.
I hope so. What would you say if someone just like barreled through your wall and they're just in your room?
I didn't ask for the Kool-Aid man.
Well, the Kool-Aid man is here, motherfucker, as my assist trophy for today. Yeah, that's fucking right. I fucking did it. I joked about it when I was in Tucson with you, Jonno.
Yeah.
And we were recording.
Now you were in this very room when it happened.
I was. I think it might have been during the Tingle episode I joked about it. And then, like, 2 nights later, I did it. So, the Kool-Aid Man will not immediately appear after the assist trophy is opened up. Instead, a few seconds will pass with nothing happening, which will almost make one think that the assist trophy was empty, a dud, useless. And then just at that moment, the players will hear the iconic, "Oh yeah," before the Kool-Aid Man breaks through the wall of reality and tears through the stage's background to effectively slam his pitcher body into whatever or whoever was in his way. The Kool-Aid Man is a bit larger overall than Ridley and will all appear? What the fuck? And will appear in the space where his assist trophy was open. I have a grammar issue to fix. The Kool-Aid Man inflicts a high amount of damage and knockback to the fighter he hits, and if a fighter was at 100% damage or more before they were attacked by the Kool-Aid Man, they'll end up getting instantly KO'd by being thrown up against the game screen, similar to what can happen if you are hit by Bowser's Giga Bowser Punch Final Smash. Basically, you can lead the Kool-Aid Man as an alternate version of the Snorlax Pokeball, where he just, falls from the sky, except Kool-Aid Man appears without warning from the background. So there you go. The Kool-Aid
Oh my god.
Is he the pitcher or is he the Kool-Aid? There is conflicting evidence, and we do not know a real answer.
It's a symbiotic relationship.
Honestly,
It's like Carnage.
Because there's times that we see his face just on an empty pitcher. There's times we see his face on a pitcherless amount of Kool-Aid. So what the fuck is he? We don't know.
I remember you sending this to me while we were all still here at like 1 a.m. And I was like, oh, this actually happened. I knew, like, the pitch was perfect. Not because he's in the pitcher, but like when you say that something is flying through Twilix's wall, screaming at him, it's either you or the Kool-Aid Man. And you went for the Kool-Aid Man, so cheers.
We haven't made a sisters of ourselves yet.
What if we made a submission of ourselves for every category?
I don't want to be a Pokemon. That feels weird.
You'll.
I also don't know how I feel about being an event match. Like
You are an event.
No.
A catastrophic event.
Make all the ones of you, and you'd have to make all the ones of me.
No, I think we should just condense this idea down to just a character, and maybe do it in like 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To figure out what the home stage will be. I actually know what you would probably make my home stage.
Yeah, I do know what I would make your home stage.
Yep. I'm tempted to do it myself sometimes, and that's like, no. I know what occasion this will be shaved for.
Oh, no, I think I know what you're talking about. I was thinking something different. Anyway.
Okay. Interesting.
Let's get into things here. We've had our fun, we've showed our cases, but now it's time to talk about the topic of the show, Dark Samus.
Was that from Okami? I don't remember it.
No, actually, it's one of the Samurai guys in Super Mario.
The amount of 100 trials that I've given the Samurai guys since their debut, it's in my brain. It's like very minimal. Thank you for bringing that memory back.
Samurai guys are great.
Yep.
Like, was Super Paper Mario a detraction from Paper Mario's 1 and 2? And were we as fans collectively thrown off and kind of put off? Yes, but it was not a bad game.
It was my first Paper Mario game, so I just had fun.
Wasn't it your only Paper Mario game?
Yes. But I hadn't even seen the other one beforehand.
There are worse.
Well, you can borrow my copy of the remake of Thousand Year Door as well, then.
Add it to the list again for me to get to.
Boy, you don't want to see my list. Anywho, Dark Samus time. We've got 3 full sets of movesets, animations, and whatnot, We're going to be presenting them to each other, and then we're going to be upsetting each other as we say, wow, your idea was shit. And then we pick our favorites and we make a collective moveset as we tend to do. So, I think I'll actually go first for a rarity with this. I think I'll go first here.
Because
Then
Metroid
Jonno.
is rare, so it makes sense to do a rarity.
Sure. Kirby hat is obvious, right, gang? Kirby wears Dark Samus' helmet around his whole body. It's what he has already got in Ultimate, and it mimics what he does with Samus's helmet as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
No
Interesting.
notes.
Cool. Interesting animation. I originally had a different idea written down here. I had that Dark Samus was gonna like walk out of like a dark black hole looking portal. But I had an idea I liked even more. A puddle of Phazon will be seen on the ground, where Dark Samus will climb up out of, like a horror monster appearing out of a murky swamp. And then, with the last bits of Phazon from that puddle, forming into Dark Samus's lower half. As if she was the puddle itself entirely.
Interesting.
Jonno, what's your interest animation?
What's funny is it's exactly the first idea that you had. A swirling Phazon rift airs open midair, and Dark Samus floats out, staring towards the camera before descending to her starting position.
All right. Twilix, what you got?
So my idea is that she basically crashes into the stage with a Phazon meteor and then stands up.
Oh, nice.
3 very different ideas. Honestly, uncommon with trio Smash Dash or trio Smashtopias, I think.
Yeah. Uncommon in general, it feels like. We don't normally diverge that much. I like it. I do think mine's solid, but it's also like it's your both are more creative, and I think when we can afford the creative license, go a little different. So I think it's between you guys's, and I don't know. I mean, the Phazon meteor, canonical, cool. It comes crashing down, very different for an animation. And the swamp also. I like when you can lean into a character like Dark Samus, who is like eerie and creepy. So I like it from that angle too. I'm curious though, and this is something that I'm going to be curious of throughout the episode. Since Twilix knows this character like easily the most out of any of us, I know her the least. Probably because it's been ages since I played Prime. But what does someone like Twilix, who is passionate about these games and knows Twilix something like Zantok's entrance animation?
Twilix?
I'm sorry. Your audio had cut out a little bit towards the end, and it threw me off.
It happens.
I mean, personally, I like the media part. It's not just because it was my idea, but also because it pays homage to the fact that in Metroid Prime, you got the Leviathans, and they crash down onto planets as meteors. And Dark Samus is the whole reason those Leviathans are crashing into planets more often. So it's a neat little reminder of that. That's my justification.
And I just
Yeah, I
went the
think that.
horror monster approach.
Yeah, I kind of get at that. I kind of get where you're coming from with that, but Dark Samus doesn't really try to be scary beyond just the presence, the sheer firepower she puts off. She's not being like a horror monster moving around all erratically. She's got more fluid movements.
Yeah,
Fair.
fair. I'd say let's do Twilix's.
Makes sense to me.
You can save the crawling out of the ground from hell animation for when you make the moveset of me.
Yeah.
Nah. Taunts. We all got 3 taunts, then we all got 3 victory poses. So, my first taunt, pure Phazon energy will envelop Dark Samus as she rises slightly through the air. During this, Dark Samus will be overcharged by Phazon, revealing her skeletal-like form that you fight at the end of Metroid Prime 2. And then once the taunt is ended, Dark Samus will go back to their normal appearance.
Nice. Very good. It's I like that it's kind of a adaptation of what is already in Smash.
Yeah.
But a little different with the skeletal form.
Yeah, for the most
Yeah.
part, Dark Samus' taunts in Ultimate just didn't do it for me. I was like, okay, what can I
agreed.
take from here and evolve, and then what am I just going to replace?
Yeah, agreed. I'll toss out my like kind of throwaway one right away because it's I only say that because it's like yours, but exactly like yours, but less interesting. Floating up a few feet, Dark Samus keeps her arms spread as Phazon embers crackle around her body. So like T for T, the Smash Ultimate taunt.
Okay. Twilix, what's your first taunt?
My first one was actually pretty simple. The other two are more interesting, but I'll get into that later. The first taunt I had for her is she just turns towards the screen, leans her head back, and laughs. Because that's pretty much the only voice line she has besides screaming in pain in Metroid Prime.
It's funny you mentioned that. My second taunt, Dark Samus will clutch their head as if they were in pain, and they will then rear back, and as a guttural scream is heard emanating from them.
God.
All right.
Raising one of her claw-like hands, Dark Samus drags it slowly through the air, leaving a streak of blue Phazon energy that lasts for a little bit of time.
Phillips, taunt number 2.
For my second taunt, I have Dark Samus giving a like "come get me" gesture while giving a menacing chuckle. Pretty much.
For my final taunt, Dark Samus will swing her arm cannon in front of her, and as she does this, a Phazon tentacle will snake out of her arm cannon like a whip as she swings it forward, before it slithers back inside of her arm cannon. Dark Samus can make tentacles that make sense.
Whenever we can use a
Fair.
tentacle character, it's welcome. So on that note, just again simple enough. Dark Samus lifts both arms as a ring of Phazon energy ripples outward from her body, kind of slightly distorting the space around her.
Phillips.
My third taunt for Dark Samus actually leads into something she does as an attack for Prime 3 boss fight. Is where she splits off a duplicate from her that hovers behind her for a few moments and then just merges right back in.
The Dark Echo.
Nice.
Yep.
For my... Oh, right, no, we're going to get our last taunts. That was them right there. Before we decide on our taunts, though, we're going to go over our victory poses as well, because, sometimes things swap places. Though I think it has been a while, maybe, since we did that. Or maybe just hasn't been as common in this season. Whichever. Either way, my first victory pose is the only one familiar to Smash Ultimate. And I think it's one that we need some form of, honestly. But Dark Samus will split and create a Dark Echo as she flips through the air. Her Dark Echo mimicking the same animation that she does as she moves through the air. The duo will then spin around each other, arm cannons held out, where the Dark Echo is reabsorbed into Dark Samus, who ends the animation by pointing her arm cannon at the screen threateningly.
Very nice. Very nice. I may as well. I have a Dark Echo victory post too, so I'll share that first. Dark Samus hovers in place, and a dark echo drifts into frame from the opposite side, mimicking her slight movements with a small delay. The echo phases in and out before it snaps back into alignment with her, phasing into her body just as the results screen freezes. Kind of zoomed in on Dark Samus's frame.
All right.
My first victory pose is that she rears back and laughs triumphantly slash maniacally.
Okay. My second victory pose. The screen will be empty at first, before Dark Samus phases onto the screen in her skeletal form. Dark Samus will then quickly disappear again, before reappearing with her face really close up to the screen.
Oh,
Dark Samus, as if she's like staring directly into the player's soul.
Is that still in the skeletal
Yes.
form? Okay.
jump scare.
Right. Okay, so somewhat similar again, a little bit. My second victory pose is the camera focuses on Dark Samus from the opponent's perspective. So Dark Samus attacks the camera, and the camera falls back as Dark Samus looms over it, framed by glowing Phazon wisps as she laughs.
Twilix?
So for my second victory pose, it leads into the fact that you fight the Aurora unit as the final boss in Prime 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, spoilers, by the way. Uh, she raises up into the air while the Aurora unit kind of follows up her, and she kind of hovers in front of its face.
She was in front of the Aurora unit's face.
Yes.
Okay. For my final victory pose, and my lamest one, I struggled with to come up with here, and I thought about just doing a joke, throwaway, weird dance animation and just like give up. I was like, I can't
Why?
do that. I can't do it. So instead, Dark Samus will hold up her arm, which is crackling with Phazon energy, and she will swing it forth around her as she creates a series of Phazon explosions across the screen, just by swinging her hand.
It's cool. Okay, last one. I wouldn't say my most boring one, but perhaps the most controversial. I have no idea how this will be taken. Dark Samus is seen floating silently as the area lighting dims until only her glowing blue lines are visible. Slowly, an enormous, distorted silhouette of Metroid Prime materializes in the background, its appendages only slightly twitching and its eyes glowing faintly. The silhouette stays around for a moment, fading away as light fades back in, with Dark Samus tilting her head curiously towards the camera.
All right.
My third victory pose has a. It's a bit boring, but she just crosses her arms and looks kind of disappointed at the other fighters.
It works.
Why do I imagine Dark Samus giving like the mom disapproving stare?
Yes.
Which is weird to think
Which
about.
you feel
I
even
do
though
en-
you don't see your face through the visor.
I do enjoy the sass that Twilix has brought to the character here. It's cool.
She's got personality. She just doesn't speak.
Yeah.
Does she? Does she have
Sakura didn't know
personality?
that bit. It's good to see it here.
All right. Well, that is our 9 talents and 9 victories. Plus, now we got to condense it down to 3 of each. So, how do people feel?
So if we have to phase it down to 3 of each from the 3 of us, we already have 3 per person, so we can just move on.
What?
Yeah, 3 taunts per contributor, right?
No,
Oh shit, we have to break it down to 3 taunts.
we're not doing Chrono again.
Not today. Okay. Yeah, how do we feel about this? I'm
There's-
gonna tend to my notes here. See what
Are there any ideas that people feel like particularly strongly towards? whether they are your own ideas or not your own ideas.
There were there were a few standouts to me. Like I enjoy that. I think that we need to invoke the personality where we can. We mentioned Dark Samus laughing a couple times. We mentioned, or Lister, you mentioned the guttural scream. So something in there, the scream and the laughs. I think we should go for. Um, and then the Dark Echo appears, and and a taunt from Twilix, and victory poses from Zantok and I. So perhaps the Dark Echo, since we like consensus on that, should appear somewhere as well. Those are my starting thoughts.
I definitely agree with the Dark Echo. Personally, I think I like it better as a victory pose, in terms of like animations. Uh, and then at least one of scream or laugh for sure. I think that is better as a taunt than a victory pose.
I agree.
Yeah.
Trolix, if we were going to choose one of your laughter taunts, which one would you choose?
The "come get me" gesture, hands down.
Okay, Zantok, what do you think if we did the "come get me" and with the chuckle, and your guttural scream, and those are two of three taunts?
Do we want to do the scream on that, or do we want to like? I don't think necessarily we need to have the scream as long as we have a laugh. I want to see the other animations first and see if there's anything else in there we like more.
Okay, that works just fine. Um, there was, the Phazon overcharge, the skeletal form that you had mentioned, and then I just kind of ripped. That's a direct riff off of a Smash Ultimate taunt that I just stole for one of my taunts. So I think if we were to do it, my thought is maybe do yours. It's a little more flavor, but wonder what Twilix would think. Um, and the tendril too is interesting to me, but again, I wonder what Twilix would think having played the games, because you had the instant justification where you're like, listen, there's the tentacles, and she
Like
well,
it
it's not
does, like Dark
it's not
Samus, because I rewatched all the boss fights for Dark Samus. Dark Samus has never like fires a tentacle from their arm cannon, but they can like produce them as an attack, and also there is official art of tentacle appendages coming out of Dark Samus's arm cannon or hand. So,
oh.
hmm, hmm.
Yeah.
See, I don't think she ever actually uses that. Although there definitely are times in game where there are Phazon tentacles. That
Mhm.
being said, considering she can just absorb and manifest Phazon, it's not out of the question that she could just have a tentacle come out of the arm cannon. Maybe even that could be in place of the grapple beam.
True. True.
Yeah, it's definitely been in concept art, that's for sure.
Yeah, photo evidence, bitches, in the chat.
Man, if I remember to make that an Instagram post, that could be its own meme. I'll write that down.
I mean, I didn't put the picture on the show. Like, I
Oh,
guess I could.
just you doing that motion is enough for me.
That's actually coming out of her hand, not her arm cannon.
Okay, creative liberties were taken, motherfucker.
You're a creative liberty.
Thank you.
In a way, yeah.
I had to save this image first before I can go on the show.
While he does that,
And look, there it
Troy.
is. See?
Oh,
Look,
there you go. There you go.
people. Dark Samus is making multiple tentacles come out of her hand. It's a thing. Stop it.
Okay. Amazing. Amazing. I believe you now.
Okay.
Proof was
Any
presented.
hoodle.
Yes,
It's a
we
silly
did that.
animation, but it's very different. And I'm not
Yeah.
saying we have to go for it.
No, but I think we have a lot of taunts that are kind of just simple and quality. So it might be hard to choose between these things.
Yeah.
I know
I
kind of
considered I considered at one point like there being a whip crack sound effect in it. I was like, I think that might be like going too long with the animation. If I did that, maybe I wasn't really sure about it.
yeah.
I did hear, and I like Tulip's suggestion that the little tentacle could like replace the grapple beam grab. That makes sense.
Yeah, agreed. Agreed. Um, so far I think we're in agreement on doing the come and get me pose that Twilix had mentioned. And
Yes.
yes, and going from there. So I mean, how are you feeling, guys, about the rest of these 8 taunts to choose from? I Tendril might be a good one. I'm still warm towards the screen, but I want to hear from you guys.
Felix, what do you think?
Hmm. I mean, the tentacle thing, yeah, that could work. Just coming out of the hands of the arm cannon. That way, it's more like the concept art.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although, if you're also having to be with the grab, wouldn't it come out of the arm cannon then, as a match to Samus's animation?
If you want it to be the same as Samus's animation, yeah.
They probably would, because like
It,
since most things Dark Samus can do are just like
it
copies or modifications from Samus.
it depends on if you want the grapple beam equivalent to be based more off of how it is in the Prime series, in which case it comes off of her left arm, or if it's more like how it is in 2D games where it comes out of the cannon.
I don't think I knew it didn't come out of the canon in the Prime games.
Oh yeah, because she uses that hand to grapple onto, while in the second and third games she can shoot with the other hand.
That makes sense. That makes a lot of sense. But Smash animation wise, it comes out of the arm cannon.
Yeah, because it's based off of how it functioned in Super Metroid and just kept staying the same.
Yeah.
Yes.
In the largest of it, it doesn't matter because we're not actually having to make this. But
Yes,
for the sake of things, creates tentacle and whips it forward.
in my opinions, come from someone who has an almost encyclopedic knowledge of Metroid stuff.
Yes, and that's why you're here.
If you let me, I could go on for hours on just Metroid,
Oh, I'm
but
sure.
that is not entirely the subject.
No, but maybe we'll have you do that in another episode.
Yeah.
Just let
Good.
me nerd out for like an hour or two.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. We welcome this, and we will even find room for mini crate somewhere in there.
No, Trilix, you don't understand why he said mini crate. I'll tell you later. All right, let's get back to it.
Yes.
Focus up. Taunts, we got one picked.
I'm gonna vote for the tendril. We've talked about it a lot. Let's just lock it in if we
Yeah.
can.
All right. We need a third.
Okay. I think that the only one that I have that even tracks is maybe the distortion field, but even then, I think that Zantok, your other 2 taunts are more interesting. I mean, I also like the other laugh that Trilix has. I don't think we need 2 laughs. Is the only thing.
Yeah.
I don't
Dark
have a
Echo.
laugh. I have a scream.
Yeah, I know. I meant.
Oh, you meant yeah, it is, yeah.
Yeah. And then Dark Echo, I think we all kind of agreed to save that for Victor Buzz.
Yeah.
So maybe it's between the Scream and the Skeleton.
Well,
I'm a skeleton.
here's what I would ask about skeleton. Do we want to have? What do we think with the skeletal victory pose? Because the next question is, do we want both, or do we just want one? And then, if we only want one, which version do we want?
Could you remind us of both the skeletal taunt and the skeletal victory pose real quick?
Of course. So the taunt is a evolution of one of these Smash Ultimate taunts. Pure Phazon energy will envelop Dark Samus as she rises slightly up into the air. During this, Dark Samus will be overcharged by the Phazon, which will reveal her skeletal-like form seen at the end of Metroid Prime 2. For the victory pose, the screen will start out empty before Dark Samus phases onto the screen in her skeletal form. It's just about like a more or less in the middle where most characters stand. Dark Samus will then quickly disappear again before reappearing with her face really close up on the screen as she just stares at the player.
I'd be cool with having both of those.
I was going to say, yeah, it might come to that, and I would be okay with it. So maybe we do, okay, skeleton taunt.
Okay.
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 Now
Okay.
victory poses.
Now, victory poses. Did
Which we
what?
pick one.
Yes, with the skeletal.
Yeah.
And then I don't remember what everybody said. I know both Jonno and I had a Dark Echo. Mine is basically an extended version of what the Ultimate one already is. Yours is a bit different. Then I also have Phazon Explosion, which I can easily kill that one. And I don't remember the others. Twilix had one with the Aurora unit. I remember that much.
Yes. I would definitely like to see that one if I only had to pick one of mine.
Can you say that one again? I'm also remembering Jonno had one that had like Metroid Prime like in the background.
The way I wrote it directly is Dark Samus lifts into the air and hovers in front of Aurora Unit 313. I think it's 313. They're all three numbers.
Oh, I see. Okay. So she's just looking at the Aurora unit, and there's kind of a menacing aura there.
Not looking at, looking away with like her back facing the Aurora Unit.
Oh, I see. Okay. Okay.
So the Aurora unit is just like in the background, and the Dark Samus is
Yes.
just like in front of it, looking at the player. Just it is just floating there. Doesn't do anything else.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Cool. Got it.
And the Aurora Unit's still attached to like the whole spinal cord like thing.
Hmm.
So
I
it's
do
not
agree that it's
hovering.
your strongest victory pose. I would say it's that, and then you had the laughing maniacally, and then the disapproving crossing arms. That's pretty funny. And then Zantok's other one was splitting with the Dark Echo, and they're doing like action-oriented things that ends with Dark Samus pointing the arm cannon, like what, towards the camera.
Yeah.
And then my Dark Echo variation was the one that's just a little more eerie with the Echo splitting from her, variations before ultimately being reabsorbed with a close-up. Uh, and then the dynamic, like the camera knockdown thing, and yeah, the Metroid Prime silhouette, which it's cool, but Aurora unit may be a little more topical since it's slightly newer, so we can always go that route if we went with one of the giant boss taunts. But yeah, what are we thinking?
Felix, as our Metroid aficionado, what do you think of when the animations? Actually, hold on. First question, Jonno, with the Metroid Prime in the background one, what is Dark Samus herself doing in that victory pose?
Also, which Metroid Prime is it? Like the I hate to use this description in front of Zantok here, but the spider-like form, or is it more like the floating jellyfish-like shape?
I was thinking the spider-like form, but I haven't played Metroid Prime in a long time, so you tell me which form would be better for this, and I'll listen.
I would argue the jellyfish look, the essence of Metroid Prime.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense. Then it's the jellyfish form.
I think it would look more eerie,
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
and it's also the same colors as the sort of skeletal look.
Yeah, that's also
'Cause
true.
it's not really a skeleton; it's more just like, eh.
I didn't know what to call it when I
Yeah.
asked you for a name. You said Dark Samus 3/4. It's like that's not a name.
That's what it's called in game.
I don't care.
But to answer Zantok's question, again, like just to read through it really quick again. Dark Samus is seen bless me. Dark Samus is seen floating silently
No, I
as the
refuse to
area
bless
around
you.
dims. Until only her glowing blue lines are visible. Slowly, the enormous distorted silhouette of Metroid Prime's jellyfish form materializes in the background. Its appendage is slightly twitching, and it's glowing faintly. The silhouette stays around for a moment before fading away as the light fades back in, and Dark Samus has her head tilted towards the camera. That was that.
Okay. So, Twilix, here's my question for you. Let's assume that that sequence, but would it be better to be Metroid Prime or would it be better to be the Aurora unit behind Dark Samus?
Yeah.
Um, because Metroid Prime and Dark Samus are one and the same, more or
Yep.
less. Just one kind of crushed itself down to fit into a suit it stole from Samus.
Well,
The
one's a
Aurora unit,
cosplayer.
the Aurora unit is a creature that Dark Samus basically possessed, corrupted with Phazon.
Right. So both would effectively work in their own way, but yeah, I mean, I think we would defer to you on which one you think you would prefer for this.
I would say if we used Metroid Prime's essence, it be a bit more transparent, like a ghost, sort of showing is like a specter of who Dark Samus is now.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. That was the intent.
And I know the essence of Metroid Prime is already transparent, but I'm talking like more transparent.
Yeah. Ghost-like.
Yeah, spooky.
There's your spooky lister, and we found it.
Oh, I'm just currently looking up images of the Aurora unit to get familiarity. That was
Okay.
not part of my research.
All right.
Having trouble?
Well, I need somebody give information and input or something.
Oh, I thought you were looking up Aurora.
I
So
am. I was looking
Yeah,
at it while you guys were talking,
I
and then you both shut up.
I
And then
kind
Jonno's
of
doing
thought
weird yoga.
I thought that you were gonna look it up to have some sort of input on the
I'm
thing.
yeah, I'm looking at it, but you guys don't have to stop talking while I'm looking at things. Like Jesus Christ.
Twilix is doing weird yoga too. You just can't see him without a
I
camera.
highly doubt it.
Okay, let's keep talking, Twilix. Yeah, I guess you're having a good morning. What did you
yes,
have for breakfast?
I had cereal.
Nice.
Reese's
I had
Puffs.
a primo choice. I like Reese's Puffs. I had a sausage sandwich and a croissant. It's at Burger King on the way here.
You guys do know we have a limited time to do this, right?
Yes.
Okay. Then
yeah, you know, yeah. So again, like Twilix, I'm glad that we workshopped out the Metroid Prime taunt. I do
Yes.
kind of agree with Zantok that we have to go with one or the other. You know, Metroid Prime or Aurora units. That way we can have something a little more different for the final taunt. But between these two, and you're welcome to choose either one. Again, like you said, you're the Metroid expert. Which one would it be? Prime or Aurora unit?
I'd say Prime.
Okay,
Okay.
Prime it is. And
I
thanks for
like the visual of it being more ghostly behind Dark Samus more than the Royal unit.
yeah, I am pleased we went that route. I mean, I really enjoyed when I came up with that. I was like, oh, people will love or hate this, and I'm glad we liked it.
It's definitely different and interesting. We don't normally have things in the background, especially in Smash Canon. I don't know if there's. I think Joker might be the only one. He's like a very special exception, or maybe Sephiroth, maybe. But we have a few that we've done with Smashtopia that have used the background, but not a lot.
So we're thinking Dark Echo, Victory Pose,
Yeah.
one of the two.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just.
Yeah, agreed. Dynamic action from Zantok or freeze frame ambiance from Jonno? Which one?
What the hell do you mean by freeze frame ambiance?
Again, Dark Samus hovers in place, and a Dark Echo drifts into frame from the opposite side, mimicking her slight movements with a small delay. The Echo phases in and out before it snaps into alignment with her, phasing into her body just as the result screen freezes. That's what I mean.
So you don't show them splitting in yours.
I definitely think we would have them split, like visually.
Yeah.
That's true.
Because that's like they
I
put
recall.
big focus on that the first time it happens in Prime 2.
Yeah. Yours was a split, Zantok. Can you remind us real quick?
Yeah. So it's an evolution of the vector pose we already have in Smash, which in itself uses the same animation that you see when they split in Metroid Prime. So Dark Samus will split and create a Dark Echo as she flips through the air sideways-ish. I don't really know how to describe it very well. But that will occur, and then her Dark Echo mimics her. Like they split, they are doing the same sideways flip animation. The duo will then spin around each other, which is an attack that they could even do with a second Dark Echo as a trio. They're just spinning through the area. But for this animation, they just spin around a few times back to each other with their arm cannons held out before Dark Echo is reabsorbed back into Dark Samus, who ends the animation by pointing her arm cannon at the screen.
Let's do it.
Yes.
Okay. All right. The animations are set. Now it's time for the actual move set. The attacks. And I know for me, like, I just watched the three boss, or not the three boss, but all the boss battles that Dark Samus has fought in Prime 2 and 3. I did not watch the Metroid Prime boss battle. I did not watch the Aurora unit boss battle. Just the one with Dark Samus herself to come up with these ideas. Although one is technically an original idea. Actually, I guess two technically maybe are. Either way, the first one I think is an obvious choice. My standard special is Shrapnel Beam. So this is the attack that Dark Samus will use when they just like fire out a rapid volley of shots in a wide area. So rapid tap on the special button will create a thin stream of, for lack of a better term, Phazon bullets. But then by charging at the special button, when you release it, you'll send out a series of shots in a spread pattern for a few minutes. So it'll still be like a rapid multi-fire, but instead of going in a straight line, it'll be more of a cone coming out of Dark Samus.
An ice cream cone.
No.
Phazon flavor.
That's something the ice cream social I've been wanting.
That would look pretty sick on a waffle cone. Just a scoop of
It's
face.
glowing.
Hey, wouldn't it be the first glowing ice cream I've eaten?
I mean,
I will ask no question.
I feel like it would be as vibrant as Ube.
It's true. It's true. Oh my god. Anyway.
I didn't think that was so outlandish to say, but all right.
Yeah. The scatter shot is a obvious choice. So My standard special. I mean, I named it Phazon Blast, but it's effectively the same idea. Um, Dark Samus charges a glowing orb of Phazon from her hand. Simply tapping the special attack button will have her fire a quick, unstable Phazon bolt that splits into erratic mini shots mid-flight. These mini bolts can hone in on foes. At full charge, the Phazon bolt transforms into a fully formed crackling orb of energy. She sends it outward, and it explodes forward in a short-range spherical detonation that can shield break fairly easily. The damage output increases the longer it's charged, but also lightly harms Dark Samus if overcharged. So the initial shot is fairly similar to Zantox, and then the charge is, a riff off of the Smash moveset, but kind of becomes more like that one move Sephiroth has that I'm forgetting the name of.
Flare, Mega Flare, Giga Flare.
Yeah.
All right, Twilix, what do you have for the standard special?
So mine is very similar to Samus's charged beam,
Okay.
but it instead of it like the fully charged shot being a big shot, it's instead a laser that holds for a few seconds. So it could potentially do more damage in straight line, but for those few seconds, she's rooted in place. So little bit vulnerable.
Robin's Thoron.
A little bit. Okay, cool. That's a nice variation. Did you name the move, Twilix, or?
I just called it Phazon beam.
Okay, that tracks.
Which, okay. I'm interested. I'm very surprised. All right. So for my side special, Samus uses their morph ball in Smash just to do a little bomb, and it's kind of dinky and disappointing. Dark Samus also the morph ball form. That I don't think they used to bomb unless there was just something I missed. But they turn into a ricochet and pinball with their
Boost
morph ball.
ball.
That's the name of the attack. Boost ball is my side special. So Dark Samus will go into morph ball mode and will zoom forward along the ground. This move can be charged up to allow for greater speed and damage. Additionally, if you charge up the move and you run up against a solid obstacle or a wall, then you can press a special button again to gain another boost of speed and bounce off said obstacle or wall to continue rolling in the opposite direction. So whereas some of these kind of like force ability moves, like Jigglypuff's rollouts or Wario's Wario Bike, you can tilt the control stick left or right to just change directions. With Dark Samus, you can't just change directions naturally, but if you charged up the move, then you can ricochet off of things to get an additional boost and go in the opposite direction.
I too want to become a pinball with you. That's cool. That's cool. Okay, my side special is Phase Dash. Kind of cheeky because I think this is, it's not too dissimilar from certain moves in Dread. But Dark Samus dissolves into a shimmering Phazon mist and slides forward at high speed, ignoring projectiles for the dash's duration. It passes through enemies and deals damage via an electrical burst upon reappearing, and it can be used in midair, so this is a recovery move. The special attack button is held at the end of the dash. I mean, if it is. Dark Samus releases a small Phazon shockwave that can deflect projectiles and shock opponents.
Okay. Felix, what do you got?
So I had two ideas actually.
Cool. Mm-hmm.
The first is Phazon Barrier, where she manifests a. I was hearing my voice for a second, and that threw me off.
Yes. Yeah. Every once in a while, we hear an echo in Jonno's mic.
Anyway, recovering for a second from that, she basically makes a column of Phazon energy around her that in the boss fight acts a bit of a shield. It deals a light amount of damage and a small amount of knockback. The alternate idea I had is called Phazon Rush, where it's basically like Fox's dash attack, but it moves slower and covers more distance.
Would you say that your Phazon dash is more or less the same thing as what Jonno came up with for his side special?
Pretty similar.
Okay, 'cause that's how it sounded to me. I just wanted to make sure I wasn't misinterpreting something.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like she
Sweet.
gets covered in Phazon energy and rushes forward.
All right.
Very good.
For my up special, I had to come up with a name for this one because Dark Samus' attacks don't all have names, which is annoying. So I call this Screw Dive.
It's familiar movement to me.
So, pressing the special input will have Dark Samus quickly phase up into the air, dealing no damage to anyone on the way up. But if you charge up this move, then Dark Samus will instead more slowly rise through the air as electrical-looking Phazon energy surrounds her. Then at the height of this move, Dark Samus will curl up into a ball, morph ball-like, and dive back down towards the stage at a diagonal angle, like one of the attacks that she does. This move will have a slight homing mechanic to it, as Dark Samus will attempt to dive down towards an enemy character. It's a better version of Incineroar's up special, where you are locked into it and you could just die.
Yeah, a fate befitting Incineroar. Okay, cool. I like that. Again, another take on the morph ball. I'm thinking like how much of the DNA is Zantok's Dark Samus moveset? How much of its DNA could be shared with the swordsman from Shadow Labyrinth? you know, like,
I have no idea because I haven't seen.
the ball, the thing moves around. Cool.
I'll answer that when I eventually play the game.
I like that though. I do. I like the morph ball stuff. But okay, my up special is Phazon Surge. So Dark Samus levitates straight upward in a slow float, surrounded by a swirling field of Phazon. Enemies who touch the field take continuous chip damage and are pushed slightly outward and upward with Dark Samus. So she's creating this slight force field that pulls people up. You know, there's a light tug to it. At the apex, Dark Samus releases a concussive wave that deals strong knockback. So when you get to the top of the field, that will happen. And then Dark Samus retains horizontal drift control while floating, so you can kind of like move in weird ways as you're traveling up this recovery path. And I would say maybe as high as Mewtwo's teleport.
Okay. Twilix.
So my up special for Dark Samus is Phazon Meteor.
Nice.
I had it basically be like a slightly directed version of Fox's up special.
Good.
What do you mean by
Which
slightly
charges up-
directed?
Like instead of like normally with Fox you can choose what direction it goes in,
Yeah.
but with this you'd be able to curve it a little.
Oh, I see.
Okay,
Nice.
Not
so
much, but a little.
So it's naturally just straight vertical, but you can tilt control so to make you go like slightly arcing off to the left or the right.
Yeah.
It's doable. That works. That works well.
Okay. Final Smash time.
Did we not cover
So,
down
special? Down special.
oh shit, you're right. Down special. So down special. You could call this move a different name, but I decided to just call it Phazon Wave. So Dark Samus will plunge her arm cannon into the ground and cause a group of Phazon tentacles to rise up and encircle Dark Samus, protecting her from attacks and also smacking back anyone that was next to her. But
I like the smack idea.
by charging up this move, you can cause tentacles to not only like after they do that, they will then also like kind of spread out away from Dark Samus and do a bit of a push as they move forward and also quickly sink back into the ground, kind of like a wave of water type deal, to have further range of just knocking opponents away. It's the tentacle attack that Dark Samus can do both in their fight and also in their assist trophy from Smash 4.
Oh, so the tentacles damage when they push out.
Yeah, they will do damage, Um, it's both like a defensive block, but also just like a damage and get away from me.
Okay, cool. Funnily enough, my down special is Twilix Phazon Barrier. So Dark Samus creates a thin barrier of Phazon around her body. You can see it pulsing around her, and it damages anyone who hits it. So if you run into Dark Samus, you will be hit during this move. It also stops most projectiles. I had played with the idea of maybe having this be a temporary shield that she can run and walk with and perform other moves with, but I kind of settled down on, again, like Joe was saying with the Fox deal. Yeah, this is kind of similar to Fox's down special, where it has a little bit more range than the reflector does, and it doesn't necessarily reflect projectiles, but it absorbs them, it stops them. Um, could potentially bring them into a Phazon meter if there was such an ability, which we will probably get into a little bit later.
All right, Twilix.
My down special is Boost Ball. She uses her Boost Ball and rams it like Jigglypuff's rollout.
Sweet.
Smaller hitbox, but probably a little faster, maybe. Oh,
A little faster and could even hit harder. I mean, with the Phazon energy.
yeah.
I mean, yeah, I think it would make sense. Like, regardless of what version of Boost Ball may get used, there should be an element of just like, okay, you can press the button to gain a boost.
Yeah.
Do like a field of damage around you. It's literally called Boost Ball. Like, come on.
I agree. That would be good.
All right, so final smash. I have something that is technically canon, but merging it with multiple elements.
The Montione dance-off.
Uh, man, I was reading a post about Monty last night. Come on, man, don't do this to me. God damn it. All right. But no, I call this Echo Laser. So whereas Samus in Smash has the Zero Laser for her Final Smash and has it across all three Smash games that have had Final Smashes, and then for some reason Zero Samus also gets it in Ultimate when they had the cool gunship in Smash 4, but what the fuck ever. Echo Laser. Dark Samus will split and create a Dark Echo next to her. The Dark Echo and Dark Samus will then stand back to back as both of them overcharge their arm cannons. The Dark Duo will then unleash massive phazon lasers in opposite directions from each other. So you got trying to think, screw it. You got Samus, or you got Dark Samus, you got the Dark Echo. They back to back. They both shoot out a laser on up towards opposite sides of the screen. But by tilting the control stick up or down, you can change the angle of Dark Samus's laser, which will simultaneously cause the Dark Echo to also change the angle of their laser in the opposite direction. So if you make Dark Samus start to point her laser up towards the sky, the Dark Echo will start to point their laser down towards the ground.
Oh,
I like that.
yeah, me too.
We have multiple laser Final Smashes in Smash, and most, if not all of them, you can adjust the angle of. But this time you have two lasers centered at that initial point, and both can be altered, but they're pointing in they're opposites of each other. You can take them from like a straight horizontal beam, or you can make a whole diagonal out of it.
Yeah, I like that. Kind of on tilting on the x-axis. That's very unique, actually. It's while being familiar. It's one of the few times where I think we have had the ability to showcase something like that. That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay, my final smash is Phazon Storm. So Dark Samus hovers menacingly at center stage as the sky darkens, and a storm overtakes the stage, coated in bright and darker blues to reflect that it's a Phazon storm. So suddenly, Phazon meteors begin burning down through the stage, taking over a diagonal and kind of like more straight trajectory, so kind of covering the screen where they can, and causing significant drag or knockback to foes hit by them. If they hit the ground or a platform, they explode with incredible electric tendrils that jut towards the sky if they plant themselves into a platform or the ground, as I said. And as they fall, Dark Samus becomes completely enveloped in Phazon, showing off her truer skeletal form through her armor as she glows translucently. Once the storm is over and things have been summarily kind of beaten down by the Leviathans, Dark Samus finishes things off with a sweeping blast from her arm cannon that arcs through the stage in a semicircle. The beam causes massive damage and knockback.
Okay. Twilix.
So my final smash is the war unit.
Sweet.
So uh, fighters that are like in a close proximity when she activates it get caught up into an animation.
Mm-hmm.
Dark Samus merges with the war unit, then fires a massive blue laser at those fighters. It's meant to be sort of reminiscent to the Brother Brain hyper death laser thing she does in Super Metroid.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So a cinematic where like Dark Samus just like merges with the Roaring unit and just fires on like
Yeah,
a
cinematic
massive
one.
laser on the trapped fighters, and then they get blown away.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sweet.
All right. Let's finish things off with our extra skills. For mine, for lack of a better name, I called it Phazon Puddle. I,
Okay.
Dark Samus will fire out a blob of liquefied Phazon, which plops down on the ground a short distance in front of her. This Phazon will stay around on the ground and serve as a damage trap for anyone who runs into it, as they will take damage and be knocked up and away on contact. When using this move, Dark Samus is able to aim her arm cannon to alter the angle of the Phazon blob, and this blob can stick to both walls and ceilings in addition to the ground. It's just a simple trap type move.
Nice. I like that. So for my extra skill, I had two ideas that I thought were valuable.
Does one
So
involve a meter of some kind?
perhaps the first one is Dark Echo. Dark Samus emits a low, distorted hum, becomes slightly transparent for a moment before a Dark Echo splits from her. When the Dark Echo spawns a short distance behind Dark Samus, it follows her like Popo and Nana kind of follow each other, ice climbers. So the Dark Echo mimics all of Dark Samus's attacks with a slight delay and at half the damage and knockback. The Dark Echo cannot be hit or interacted with because it's a phantom. It lasts for only up to 30 seconds and can only be used if Dark Samus's Phazon gauge is full. So yeah, you're actively attacking or being hit by things, and it affects the level that your Phazon gauge is at. If it reaches full charge, maybe there's an aesthetic change where Dark Samus glows a little brighter. You can see the skeletal form a bit or something, and then you can use certain attacks to a greater extent. Like the special moves hit harder or whatever, and the Dark Echo can also be summoned. Um, or corruption field. So Dark Samus slams a hand into the ground, creating a circular phazon corruption zone that lasts for a few seconds. I didn't mention it, but you can use the tentacles here. Standing inside the field boosts Dark Samus's attack power and movement speed. The more that she stays within the circle, that becomes more of the case. But slowly drains small amounts of Dark Samus's own HP. Enemies inside the field take gradual damage over time and are significantly slower within the field, a la Luigi's negative zone. Could be used in midair, creating a floating field of energy. And that's it.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Twilix.
My extra skill
Your extra kill. Well, he couldn't make it today.
is Phazon Missile. So the idea was it's similar to Samus's missile, but instead of the super missile that you can use that flies faster, does more damage, instead she can fire the missile up to 3 times in quick succession before having a brief little cooldown.
Cool. So it's like a souped up version of Samus's missile, essentially.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean that makes sense.
You know, guys, I'm very surprised. We don't have nearly as much crossover as I was expecting. I was expecting us to have a lot of similar things here with Dark Samus because I didn't. I figured it's like, okay, yeah, there's not a whole lot that can stun in their attacks. It's
It's
gonna
kind of
be
impressive.
it's gonna be stuff from their fights and maybe a little bit of mix of alternational things that Samus herself can do. But no, we have three wildly different sets of things here.
Yeah, I'm proud of us. And pats on the back all around.
How is the only move that we doubled up on either Boost Ball or the little Phazon circular field? How are those the only two?
I know, right? I kind of went into this like, oh, I'll just take from the boss fights and the assist trophy, but then it turned into a little more than that.
My notes were cobbled together in a rush in like 30 minutes this morning.
I sent you so many
Yeah, it happened.
reminders. But to be fair, I also did mine like 3 or 4 days ago, and Donald did his yesterday. So,
Yep, I did mine last night with like 12 hours.
There's no bigger motivator than last minute panic, guys.
well, hey,
Oh
Twilix,
yeah,
think
I
about
know.
this. Think about this. Donald did his in like 40 minutes. I did mine in probably about an hour. So,
Yeah, it was,
30
yeah.
minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, we got it. It is as something I said to John last night was just like it is astounding how often we will be like, man, I don't know, I don't know what to do with this. I'm putting this off, I'm procrastinating so much, and then once you get in the right mood and you force yourself to do it, an hour or less, it's like, oh shit, hey, I'm done. That was easy.
Yeah.
Why do I stress
Yeah,
about this every time?
Twilix is
it's the
right.
anticipation of the task.
Right.
It's especially
And trust me.
it's especially bad when it's not something that you are like super knowledgeable of.
Right. And trust me, this tends to fall through with some work related tasks too. So,
Relatable.
Hmm. So, what
what
are
the
we
fuck are we doing?
choosing here? Because we have a variety.
We do, don't we? Like I'm kind of at a loss here. There's just so many different things.
Yeah, the good news is that sometimes when this happens, we run into a domino effect. It's like, okay, well, if we choose this one move, we have to choose like all of these moves because they're too connected. We don't have that problem here, thank God.
Yeah.
That was why our Chrono Smashtopia episode had to be split into three separate character submissions because all three of us kind of did a whoopsie. It's like, oh, we made this all too interconnected, and we did not allow for the ability to mix and match. But thankfully, we can mix and match here. It's just going to be a matter of what are we, what are we choosing, and what are we dropping.
Yeah, and that's still the hard part. Like we've historically deliberated over things like this for a little too long.
Yeah,
I'm gonna review my notes and see if there's
I
anything that sticks
think
out.
I think so. Where I'm going to start is the up special because all three of us have a very similar concept. I think. Tulip, what was your up special again? Oh, that's right. Yours was different. Yours was based on meteor, where it's like it's ball form, but you fly up in an arc.
Yes.
Jonno just had like a straight, slowly rise up, but you're pulling people in and damaging them. And then mine was either quickly go up with no damage, or more slowly go up and then crash back down.
Right.
I think this is the easiest place to start out.
Hmm. Well, I think all of them are rather characteristic of Dark Samus. You know, there's a brutality there, and there's a litheness of movement. So that's still it's slightly difficult for me to deliberate. But do either of you two guys have a lean on where we should go with this?
I personally very much like the Phazon beam where it's a laser because it's similar enough to the charge beam, but it also has that sort of counterplay where yes, it could potentially do more damage if you get someone very well with it, but if you flub it, that leaves you open for a counter.
And the up special that we were talking about?
Right, my brain. I was going from top to down or thought process.
We're starting with the yes special.
Right.
To recap, we have
Yes.
yours where you have like the vertical, but you can arc off. Jonno's is the slow rise through the air, pulls opponents in, and damages them on the way up. And then mine was either by pressing the special button is a quickly phase up, no damage, or charge it up to more slowly rise through the air, and then slam back down to the ground diagonally.
I kind of like the charge up and slam down to the ground. Not so much
Yeah.
a slow rise.
No, keep going.
I would say not so much a slow rise, but more like it being a little bit quicker.
Okay. So
I
not
would
not
agree.
not like slow, but like still probably. So you're saying either way have the very quick phase upwards,
Yes.
but then the charging is what determines if it's going to have the slam or not. Otherwise, you can
Yes.
just go safely up and not slam back down if you so desire.
Yes.
Okay.
I would agree. I would agree since you know the slowdown could for the move payoff could just be the charge. You know, you're spending a few more seconds on that.
True.
Yeah.
True. All right.
Yeah, I'm cool with that. So what was that called? Screw dive?
Yeah, because I didn't have a better name for it. It uses the screwball. Apparently it's like Dark Samus's version of the screw attack, more or less. But something ends in a diving attack and not just keep on jumping up and spiraling with electricity. I was like, screw dive.
Is that when it dives down, is that the boost ball?
No, but it is in its
No.
morph ball form or curled up
Okay.
into a ball. I don't know if it's technically in its morph ball form in that.
It's
I'd have
not.
to. Okay, I didn't think it was. So yeah, no, it's just Dark Samus was just like curled up into a ball herself.
Okay. Where do you think we should go next, Talk?
Actually, I want to ask Twilix a question here. Twilix, is there a better name for that move? Because you had mentioned like the phase on meteor. Is that something you came up with, or is that an existing thing?
I came up with it. It might be an official name, but it's just what what sounded cool to me.
I would be cool with that.
Apparently, phase on meteors is also the name of the Leviathans. It's an alternate name for them. Apparently, that's the only hit I see on the wiki.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were called meteors before they were identified as Leviathans.
Hmm.
So they didn't know what it was.
Yeah. I also saw it's like Phazon dive or something. I was like, I don't know. Okay. Next spot to go to, standard special probably is the best one we'll get next. I have the shrapnel beam, which rapid tapping is basically Fox Blaster, but not strictly in a straight line. There's a little bit of variance. But then charging it up will instead release a series of shots in a conal pattern. Like still rapid fire, but cone instead of stream.
Right. Right. It was where the Phazon joke meme came from. The Phazon ice cream, sorry.
Yes.
Yeah, and then mine was the Phazon Blast, which is similar to yours. You know, it's using the special attack button to fire a bolt that splits into multiple erratic mini shots, and they can charge it up to be more of the orb that we're familiar with, but it travels more slowly, explodes sooner, and is more damaging. And then Twilix's was the laser beam that I think Twilix you were stumping for a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I had spaced and got jumbled up in the order of things. But yeah, I
It
kind of
happens.
gave my opinion on that one already.
Can you say what that attack is again?
It's like Samus's charge beam shot, but instead of it's a laser that goes on for a few seconds if you fully charge it, so it could potentially deal more damage in a straight line, but it leaves you open to someone just coming around smacking you.
I want to make a pitch here. So when Twilix was describing that move, Jonno, I mentioned Robin's Thoron. And Twilix, for your reference, so Thoron is a attack that Robin can use. He can charge it up as part of his standard special. If he just presses the button, he just sends out like a spark of electricity forwards. He charges up for a little bit. He sends out a. It's got like 3 or 4 different attacks rolled into it that change based on how much you've charged the attack. And the final charge is like this big ass lightning beam that travels across the whole screen and actually like travels, not just beam, like it actually like moves forth as its own like thing. Um, so my kind of pitch is, what if we do something similar with Dark Samus? We actually merge these 3 kind of together. So you could rapid tap it, or maybe this should be like level 1 charge. Either rapid tap or level 1 charge would be the stream of bullets for shrapnel beam. Level 2 charge would be like a big orb that perhaps has some homing capabilities. And then level 3 charge is the full-on Phazon laser or Phazon beam.
I like this. I like this a lot.
Cool. And I think we should just call it collectively Phazon beam.
Yeah.
Collectively, Phazon beam.
Yeah. Yes.
Second name.
No.
Oh. Yeah, I like that. It's not every day that works out, but it's cool. It's a feel good. It works. It's a better move when we work together.
And like Dark Samus, as a being of Phazon, I think there's room for creativity right there, because in some, like, honestly, it makes more sense for these 3 moves to be combined together than it does for Robin's Thunder spells to be combined together into one weird charge mechanic. So it's less bullshit this.
They are 3 separate books. You shouldn't be able to do that technically. So yeah, true.
4, because he has Thunder,
Yeah.
L Thunder, Arc Thunder, and Thoron. I just don't remember what one of them looks
Right.
like.
It's gold.
Anywho, so I guess we'll do. Let's hit extra skill next. So extra skills. I had Phazon Puddle. Twilix, you had Phazon Missile, where you just basically fire 3 missiles back to back, if I remember correctly. And then Jonno had the Dark Echo mechanic coming off of a Phazon meter. And then the Dark Echo would at half damage, which, yeah, it would have to be half at best, would copy what Samus says in their attacks. Now, I like these. These are good.
I had the corruption field as well. There's 2.
Oh, you have a correction?
Oh no, I was just pointing out I had 2 extra skills.
What was the second one?
The corruption field where
Oh, right. Yeah, that was interesting. If that doesn't happen today, I want to revisit that idea. I don't know with who in the future, but I want that idea revisited.
Okay.
I want to ask Twilix what you think of these options. Dark
I
Echo,
would personally go
Corruption
towards
Field.
either the Missile or Dark Echo
Okay.
rather than the Puddle.
But it was fun, but I was not expecting it to get chosen. It's a hazard element of the fight. Dark Samus
I don't
actually
think
make
it
'em.
quite fits Dark Samus very well.
That's fair. I just
I did.
impressed by it.
Funny, like blob and plop, and I'm like, I don't think of these words when I think of Dark Samus.
Yeah.
Alternatively, if the Phazon wave could go there. If it doesn't go to the darn special. Okay. But yeah, no, yeah, I was not gonna make a strong argument for Phazon Puddle. I personally really liked Corruption Field and Dark Echo. I think Dark Echo and like Corruption Field I like mechanically. a lot, which is why I'm saying if we don't pick it here, absolutely where we can bring that back.
Yeah.
The Dark Echo in particular is very, very Dark Samus.
Mhm.
Uh, I,
Agreed.
I just think that's like even though we do have it in other places, such as the animations and potentially the Final Smash, I don't think there's a problem having it in the extra skill. I think it's a huge part of Dark Samus's fights.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
I
don't think she does
agree.
it in Prime 2, but she definitely does. It's definitely a prominent thing in Prime 3, where it has
Yeah,
a whole little mini scene.
don't you also just fight Dark Echoes just in random locations in Prime 3? Like they're just constantly harassing you?
Uh, no,
No? Hmm.
no.
Oh. I thought they were. I don't know. I'm not the I'm not the Metroid expert. Why can't she crawl?
You can have a Metroid Prime channel called Prime Mate.
No.
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 You're outvoted.
Yeah, I agree though. I'm Dark Echo. It makes sense. It's like giving Ganondorf his sword outside of the taunt. That happened
Oof.
once.
Or that orb attack that people like to play around with, the volleyball thing.
Yeah. Dark Samus's volley.
Yeah. Alright, so standard special, the collective Phazon beam. Up special, screw dive. Extra skill, Dark Echo. Side special and down special both have a couple shared options between them. Because I have side special or I have boost balls by side special. Twilix has boost balls as down special. Twilix has the I can't remember what it was called, the Phazon-fueled, Phazon barrier, Phazon shield as a side special. Jonno has that as the down special. So this one gets a little bit more complicated. Jonno also has the Phazon dash as a side special, while I have the Phazon wave as my down special. So what are we doing?
I would argue that if we're going to have Boost Ball, it should be the down special to mirror the fact that Samus uses Wolf Ball as her down special.
Interesting. Interesting thought. That's
My
true.
my only counter to that is that they use them in very different ways, but also I don't give a shit about that counter fact. I just wanted to make mention of it. But Sonic and also moves of the same sort have been on different special inputs. Like Jigglypuff's rollout is on their standard special. Sonic has multiple spin dashes on multiple inputs. Side special and down special for him. And then homing attack is sort of. More just to say like I think it can go anywhere, but I don't care enough to say it has to be on either spot. Doesn't matter to me. I'm good with either option about boost ball. Smash is
Yeah,
inconsistent sometimes.
yeah. Effectively, it would be the same. You could do the same things with either one. So
Yeah,
if Trillix feels a little strongly that it could be the down, then it could be the down. And I wouldn't be against that.
Yeah, I'm not as much of a Smash enthusiast as you two are. I do enjoy playing, but I definitely like the idea of Dark Samus mirroring a little, just using its her own morph ball in a different way than Samus,
yeah.
but on the same input.
Right. Yeah.
And I've done similar things with other characters.
Totally. And Trillix mentioned that it could be like roll out and hit a little harder. We agreed that we can do the boost ball like explosion. You can press the input during movement. And then I think there's no reason why you can't also do like the bouncing off the walls and ricochet that you had mentioned, Zantok. And I would feel good and fine about having that as the down special.
Yeah, our boost balls are basically the same thing, just like with a couple minute details that are different that can be merged together and be put
Yeah,
on either button.
Right.
The real question then is one, are we locking in boost ball on some button?
Yeah.
Okay. Then the next question isn't which button. The next question is what do we want the other attack to be? What is the last side special, or what is the last special attack going to be? Is it going to be the Phazon shield, which is also on either side or down? Is it going to be the Phazon wave, or is it going to be the Phazon dash?
Right. And I will point out too that Phazon Dash was basically a move that Twilix and I both shared too, because Twilix had two side specials.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, I had Phazon Barrier and Rush.
that's right.
Both would have worked in my mind.
Right. So kind of where my mind is going, if we feel like we should do Phazon Dash or Rush, effectively more or less the same thing. It'll be a fuse and move again. That's a side special. But if we do Barrier or and Barrier in my mind also, I think that could be a down special. I think it fits more in that spot since it's not recovering in any way or there's no movement. To me, that would feel unusual for a side. And then Wave would be down special as well.
Yeah, like you could modify wave into being a side special, and it's basically just being like a ground traveling projectile, but it feels a little weird.
Hear me out. Hear me out. Hear me out.
Okay.
So this is what I'm thinking. That the dash would be side special because that would be a very interesting thing for a normally heavier ish character like Dark Samus to have something that gives a bit of mobility just to rush in.
Yeah. That's true. I mean, it would be very unusual for me to be able to move that fast.
I'm also
It's
just
true.
sitting here trying to think, it's like, what heavyweights in Smash do you have like forward momentum type moves like Ridley does? Ridley does. Which can be used in midair as well. Are
Ike.
there others? Oh yeah, Ike. Ike does. Um,
That's it. As far as
Like
I know.
it could be a gap closer, or it could be an escape button.
if you consider Rob a heavyweight, he does.
Yeah.
But also, I think the way one or both of you described this Phazon dash, Phazon rush, is that it could be used. I don't know if it's omnidirectionally, but you could go like easily go left or right. Maybe omnidirectional. I'm not really sure about that. Although maybe with the up special how it would exist, maybe not. But just so I'm aware, could you both say how yours were written again?
Yeah. So Dark Samus dissolves into a shimmering Phazon mist and slides forward at a high speed, ignoring projectiles for the dash's duration, passes through enemies and deals damage with an electrical burst upon reappearing, can be used in midair for horizontal recovery. Um, and at the end of the attack, if you press the special attack button again, you can release a small like shockwave of Phazon to deflect projectiles and shock people. I didn't have the phase back and forth, but I do like that. I think it's workable.
My comment on hearing that for the second time is like, oh, so it's what Dracula and Alucard do.
Subconsciously, yes.
It's their mist form.
Anyway, yeah, but faster, faster, much faster.
Twilix, what was your version?
The way that I wrote it is Dark Samus dashes forward wreathed in Phazon energy, like Fox's dash attack, but it moves slower and covers greater distance.
Okay, so you two have the same concept, but it actually works opposite to each other because one of you is mist and quick, and the other one of you is physical and slower.
Yeah, it's not lightning quick, but it is still fast.
Right. But no, like fuck. I mean, I don't think the mist form is like a fox illusion either.
Yeah.
Most likely. Um, Personally, I like the visual of going into a uh aerosol face on like form. But I want to make as Twilix like is that a thing?
Uh, kinda. I
I
think
I like that kind
it's
of.
a bit of a stretch. I think, but you could make an argument for it because when you defeat the other hunters in Metroid Prime 3, because it's assumed to be Dark Samus, appears as sort of an almost ghostly form to absorb their energy and then retreat.
Huh. Will we enter a song today?
I want to see if I can potentially find a
Like,
picture of this. I doubt I will be able to.
it appears as sort of like a black smoke with tendrils and Dark
Oh, yeah.
Samus' face.
Yeah, I kind of remember this now.
Yeah, she appears during the death animations for each of the hunter bosses.
Okay. Oh, okay, yeah. I see it now. Yeah. Yes. Yes. That's the form. For sure.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm good to do that as a or the side special then.
Agreed.
If we put boost ball onto the down.
Yeah, let's do that.
What were the names you guys had for those? Phazon Rush, Phazon Dash.
Yes, yeah, it's Rush, Twilix, and Dash me. Either one. Either one. I mean, whatever you think's cool. Phazon missed.
They're both pretty equal, I would say. Like I'm thinking of like how they both sound in my head. It's like they both they're about the same.
Okay.
Twilix.
I would say for it being a miss thing, Dash.
Good point.
Okay.
All right then. Final Smash, the last one we have the debate on. We got the Aurora unit doing a cinematic laser. We got the Dark Echo appearing for the Echo laser, and then we had Jonno doing the
Phazon
Phazon Storm.
The Leviathans.
Oh, I thought. Okay, yeah. I had a different. I had an incorrect
Oh,
visual.
Phazon Meteor. Yeah.
What are we thinking, boys?
It could be really difficult because they're all like really strong and cool final smashes.
The different
Yeah.
styles of Final Smashes too.
Mhm. I have a thought, but I want to save it until we like go around the room. Twilix, what are you thinking? You know, with these three final smashes right now.
Uh like I'm a little behind on like the Smash Bros. Design philosophy, but if I recall right, after Brawl at least, they moved away from Final Smashes that you directly control and did stuff that are more like cinematics. So that's why I designed mine the way that it is.
Yeah, with Ultimate, they especially mentioned that they wanted to make them be quick and snappy so you can get back into the action sooner, which is why Ultimate has a bevy of cinematic Final Smashes. And in some cases, they work. In some cases, I think they could have done something different. Ultimate removed all the controllable ones, so no more Super Dragon, no more Mega Charizard X, no more Wario Man. Uh, that's really all they've said on it. They just wanted to be like quicker things now. So no more Landmaster.
But like Snakes was the
Well,
same, I thought, if I recall.
uh, no. I don't remember what Snakes was in. Give me a minute.
Missile launcher from a helicopter, and you can
Grenade
control
launcher, I think.
Yep.
I thought he had different ones.
He
Oh, yeah,
goes
yeah,
into
yeah.
the foreground.
Yeah, he has grenade launcher with the reticle in Brawl, but then in Ultimate he has covering fire, which is more or less the same thing. A reticle that's you press it once, and then missiles come down.
Oh, I see. So the worst.
Or no, not quite. It's you can move the crosshair around quickly, and then after either 5 targets are acquired or 5 seconds have passed, then homing missiles will launch and attack any of the targeted players. So still pretty quick.
Okay, I gotcha. But yeah, you're not wrong, Twilix. It has moved in that direction.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zantok, your thoughts?
Obviously, we all like our own. Self-explanatory. It's a twist on the typical laser, which I went with the laser aspect because Samus has the zero laser for hers, and I think for Smashtopia I changed hers to be not the zero laser. I think I made it be the hyper beam specifically because that just is, it's a more canon option that does the exact same thing.
Aren't they all canon options? Coming from a
Ah,
cannon?
ah, ah, ah,
No.
ah.
No, because no, fuck off. But yeah, I just checked my notes. Hyper Beam for Samus is the exact same mechanically for Smashtopia Wiki, but it's Hyper Beam instead of the made up Zero laser. Echo laser I made be, their own version of that because Dark Samus is currently their own version of the Zero laser. I forget what it's called, but it's the exact same attack. Having like a storm of missiles fall down on the screen while the fighting is still happening is I liked it a lot because it's Ness and Lucas, and I like how Ness and Lucas's work. And then the Aurora unit, again, cinematic Final Smashes are the in thing for Ultimate. Personally, I'm hoping for the next match where they can cut back, but some ideas just work best as cinematics, and that's just factual. I like the idea. I was actually thinking before Twilix had said Aurora, I was like, oh, another idea could have been like have a cinematic where like Metroid Prime comes out and it like Dark Samus turns back into Metroid Prime and does attacks. That could be interesting. And then you said Aurora unit basically taking that concept is like, oh, cool, that concept's covered. Awesome. I don't know all of the Aurora unit's attacks. I kind of want, like, if that's going to be the option, I kind of want to add in something before just the laser. I just don't know what that would be, and I have to do some research. But that's more or less my thoughts on all 3.
Yeah, mine is so badass. Like the thought is so cool. Like it's so interesting and menacing. But I actually think mechanically it's the least interesting. It's PK Starstorm, but heavier in some respects. So yeah, I think that it's the Echo Laser. It is the argument there is that it is taking a pre-existing concept, very basic laser attack that Samus already does, doubling up on it, and then moving on that axis field of movement, where the Echo and Dark Samus are moving different, perpendicularly to each other. That's very interesting. The execution is interesting. Aurora unit, this is your opportunity to number one, represent that boss fight. Number two, uh, if we're breaking out of CGI, then there's a bevy of different attacks you can use on the field. Or if we keep the animation, I think even then, like Zantok said, figure out some different attacks the Aurora unit is performing on the characters, and it would be a pretty decent animated final smash. So I do think it's between those two. Are we gonna make a roll to decide which one?
Twilix, what do you think?
I mean, obviously, my preference is for the Aurora unit for the similar reason mentioned, where it represents that boss fight and how Dark Samus does merge with the Aurora.
Okay. Well, here's what I will say then, because Jonno says, don't pick his. Since we had the Dark Echo in multiple spots, including the extra skill, let's go with the Aurora unit Final Smash.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think that makes the most sense.
indeed. I agree.
I also agree.
We know.
I also agree with the agreement.
I agree with your agreement.
Yes, and I
I'm not going to continue the
agree
bit.
with the agreement that he has
Hey,
agreed
hey
upon.
guys, we have limited time left. We have a few last things to do, so let's do that.
I was already done with the bit.
Unique traits. So, and for both Samus and Dark Samus and Smash Ultimate, both of them are able to wall jump and can use their grab attack to tether onto ledges. These two things make sense to me to continue. I don't think we necessarily need mid-air jumps. Additionally, I was just looking at the Samus Smashtopia page, and I saw that I also had added in that Samus can crawl on the stage, but instead of crawling, because Metroid can't crawl, instead they roll across the stage in their morph ball form as their crawl animation. Do we want to do that as well, or no?
I think it would be a little amusing, so yes.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Alternate costumes. So Dark Samus already has, they're in Ultimate. They have their colorations. I'm checking to see real quick if they're based on anything, because I think some of them kind of loosely are, but not in like a heavy manner. Beyond that, like I'm just like, okay, they can be whatever. They can just be colors. Like who gives a shit? They don't have to be based on anything. It's Dark Samus. What is there you can really base them off of? Yeah. So like there's a purple one that's like, oh yeah, it's purple. It resembles Gandrada. The yellow one that resembles Golden Torizo. Does it really? Probably not. Um, they have a black one that says it resembles Orange Phazon, and her original incarnation is Metroid Prime, which I would have to look at to confirm that because they don't look like
The
it to me.
Phazon suit in Prime 1 was black and red.
Mm. But basically, it's like I think we just have like loose color things. Like there's like the pink one. They say it's like, oh yeah, this pink Dark Samus resembles Zazabi from Metroid Fusion. Does it, or is it just they thought it would be funny to make Dark Samus be all bright ass pink, and there's just have her
The
be a
only
boss
idea
that's
I
also
had
pink.
for alternate costume was to have her Metroid Prime 2 armor, which has a bit more of an organic look to it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It looks like she's not fully baked. I'm not wrong. She's still forming.
Yeah. Just like the I forgot. The experimental creature from Other M. What could it be?
What another M? I've never heard about the M.
Remember me?
No.
All right. So
The baby.
do we want to have the split costumes then with Dark Samus between their Prime 2 and Prime 3 appearances? Because the only thing I would say to that is that Dark Samus in Ultimate actually doesn't look like either design. Like they're like not like there are, I think there are elements. It's primarily its Prime 3 appearance, but it's very differently very clearly a different model entirely.
If I remember right, it's basically like Prime 3's appearance, but with the more organic take that Prime 2 had. Like it looked more alive rather than a suit of armor.
I
Understood.
don't know that I see that vibe, but if you see that vibe, I'm not going to argue that opinion.
I'm going off memory here.
Okay. It
I
looks.
actually say we do the split.
Do
That
the
way
split?
Yeah, that way you get the best of those worlds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like the main difference I see is that actually it does kind of look like a merger because like the visor is very different between Prime 2 and 3, but the visor in Ultimate is much more like the visor in Prime 2.
Oh well, maybe in that case we just keep it then, like how it is in
Well,
Ultimate.
it
What do you
it,
think?
it looks like it's mostly Prime 3's version, but with like I don't know what to call it. It's definitely not like Prime 2's like the shoulder pads are definitely not like Prime 2 or Prime 3's. I don't know. It's more I don't know how to describe it.
Maybe the three of us can get together after this and then like make our own design.
Yeah, with our artistic skills.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I after you mentioned that it has notables from both designs, I think keeping it how it is in Ultimate, or just kind of alleging that it changes in certain ways. I mean, I think that's fine.
Yeah. Like there are some clear design elements that are different. I don't know. Well maybe. Maybe.
Okay.
But either way, beyond that, just some color differences, really.
Yeah. Agreed.
Yeah.
All right, and then the last thing to figure out is home stage. Now, I don't have to say much because during the Stadia Showcase episode a few seasons back, I made Phase as a stage, and that was always kind of my pitch for a Dark Samus stage, so I'm just going to say Phase. You guys got other ideas?
I just said phase two, but it was because you and I talked about this ahead of time. And you're like, I already made a stage for Dark Samus. And I was like, I'm going to be lazy and phone it in and just say the one that you did. So maybe Twilix has something different, and if not,
So phase is the obvious choice, but hear me out. Sky Tipple Gateway. The point in Dark Aether where at the very end of your escape sequence from the whole extra dimensional space is then crumbling to bits with you still in it. It also forces you into a boss fight right there. So you're on a timer.
oh boy. Goodness gracious.
It's got this huge, massive Phazon in the center, in the background that's blocking your only way out.
And this is where you thought the skeletal form of Dark Samus it looks like.
Yes.
I wish there were better pictures of this place. I kind of have an idea of it, but I would have to really. Is it just an empty room more or less?
Kinda, yeah.
Okay.
It's got some ornamental stuff, but other than that, there's not a lot of platforms. Not to say we can't add some.
Oh yeah, no, that happens all the time. Because I do have an idea at one point I'd like to do where it's like an ether dark ether stage where like it flips back and forth between different versions and things are different. I just have never written down.
I see. Yeah,
This is the place that leads to this. It has a little portal thing in the center that leads to the Sky Temple, which is where the Emperor Ing boss fight is.
Hmm.
oh, I see. Okay. Uh, I'm fine with either of these.
I would probably say phase,
Yeah,
honestly. Considering
I
it's
just
like
wanted to
it
offer up
is.
one alternative.
No, yeah, that's fair. Look, I do want to do something with ether, dark ether at some point, but with phase being the Phazon planet and Dark Samus being the living embodiment of Phazon, that just makes sense.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Well,
Wowza.
we did it. we're done. Dark Samus has been made. I'm gonna need you both to send me your notes so that I
Yep.
can eventually get around to doing this because I am so behind on uploading these Smashtopia because I have not had the mental state required to do it in a while. It's been a thing.
Yeah.
But nice. We got this done,
Nice.
which means we are now going to be transitioning into the season 6 finale. We got a non-topic, we got a Smashtopia, we got a Smasher Dash to close out season 6 that are becoming as our next 3 episodes. I ain't gonna tell you what happens, other than if you've been watching the show for a while now, you kind of know the format. Where one of them is gonna the on top is gonna be some kind of roster game. The Smashtopia will be the two of us presenting two different characters to each other that have some kind of unifying theme, and then the Smash Dash will be the Tournament of Champions, where we take all of the. Oh wait, no, I lied. I'm a little early on this. Next episode's not the finale. Whoops! Next episode
Shame
is
on you.
actually the penultimate Smasher Dash. I forgot about that. For some reason, I was thinking it was part of the finale. I was like, wait, no, that's not right. The finale part is the Tournament of Champions. No, it's our penultimate Smasher Dash where we get weird. And for the first time since season 1, we're gonna have matchups that feature more than 2 characters in a matchup, and not even a not a battle royale, but a trio, 2 trios with I'll just say there's some connection to movies. That's all. Movies and TV is the connecting theme for it, and that's all I'm gonna feckin' say.
It's not a stretch.
Yeah, it's really not. Bye, everyone.
Boy,
Thank you, Twilix, for joining us.
glad to be here. And now you kick me out.